I might need to raise it actually. Might need to raise the camera. Otherwise my head is on the top of the frame. Okie dokie. Much better. Take a swig of my water bottle. So yes, by the title of this video, well, I haven't actually decided the title, but what I think is going to be the title, I am moving out of the UK. I am leaving the UK. However, this isn't a UK bashing video whatsoever. It's not even close. I actually love England. Like I love living here. I love growing up here. Everything about it is an amazing place. But I wanted to do a life update video, tell you what's going on, basically share why I'm leaving the UK for now, and I will be coming back in the future, but why I'm leaving the UK for now. Long story short, I'm moving to Dubai. I think a lot of people have already guessed that from looking on my Instagram and things like that. I think a lot of people have already figured out that I'm moving to Dubai. But let's start at the beginning and how this even happened, how this came about. So I have some notes here. I just want to make sure I cover everything. My first trip away was in 2016. I went to San Diego. That was my first proper vacation away. How old was I? I was 23 at the time, and I absolutely loved it. Like I went for work and also went for vacation at the same time, because at the time I was a founding designer at a company called Plasso. I don't know if any of you will remember Plasso. I used to work at Plasso. I used to be one of their sort of designers, one of their main designers there. Plasso ended up being bought by GoDaddy a few years later. But anyway, that was the first time I had ever gone on a proper vacation. Before that, I'd never really traveled. I'd never really gone anywhere. I'd never visited the world in any way whatsoever. So I spent a week on vacation and I spent a week working. And that trip really opened my eyes to the world. Like I realized there is so much more out there. I had a sudden realization that I could technically do my job from anywhere. Why am I staying in the UK when I have the freedom of being able to do my job anywhere? I especially fell in love with San Diego, particularly sort of Carlsbad and Oceanside area, so away from downtown, because I'm not really a person that likes to live in the city. I much prefer the quieter areas like Carlsbad and Oceanside, which are quite close to downtown San Diego. Just an amazing place. Like the weather is perfect. It doesn't really get too cold, doesn't really get too hot. It's always sunny. Everyone there was really nice. Everyone was really friendly. It was a place that I absolutely loved. And ever since I had visited in 2016, I sort of played with the idea. I kept playing with the idea of I should move to San Diego. Like what's stopping me? Like it just makes a lot of sense. Like San Diego would be awesome, would be a great place to live. However, I also realized that my experience of seeing the world was very, very limited. So it's why I didn't just make the jump right there and then. I knew that I had to visit other places, visit other countries, go on vacation in other places, and sort of just visit the world, experience the world, see what it's like. So from 2016 to 2020, COVID time, I visited many different countries. I was very fortunate enough to be able to go on vacation 2 or 3 times a year to all these different places all around the world. And yeah, it really opened my eyes up. It sort of made me realize, like I said earlier, like the world is a much bigger place than my little town that I grew up in England. Then in 2020, we of course had COVID, and COVID really threw a spanner in the works for sort of everything I wanted to do. I had literally just got back from San Francisco, LA, and San Diego in March of 2020. As soon as I landed, we pretty much went into lockdown in the UK. We were full lockdown, we couldn't go anywhere. So of course, traveling and stuff was out of the question with the pandemic and stuff. But to make it worse, to make things even more complicated, in July of 2020, I get diagnosed with cancer. So then I'm like, shit, like what am I going to do? Like I have cancer now. So I ended up getting diagnosed with stage 3B cancer at the time. So it had developed quite a lot. My doctor thinks that I had my cancer for a year before they found it. I had to go through 12 weeks of chemotherapy and surgery to remove the cancer. All in all, when I look at my surgery, I look at the chemotherapy, even though the chemotherapy was only for 12 weeks, the recovery process after chemotherapy and the recovery process after my surgery, I'd say I sort of got back to my full health 18 months later. It took a long time just because your body needs to recover, chemo going through your system and stuff. I had brain fog, I had lots of side effects and stuff that just naturally happens from having chemotherapy. But of course, because of my cancer, I wasn't even thinking about traveling. I wasn't even thinking about moving countries or anything like that. I'd actually completely forgot about it. Like I was focused on just trying to get better and trying to sort my life out at the time. Now that I'm better and I've completed my cancer treatment, all I've got to do is just go for regular checkups. I'm also in better health than I was before my cancer, which is just wild. I'm in like much better physical shape compared to what I was before the cancer. At the beginning of 2023, the idea of moving abroad became more appealing again because lockdown had obviously gone, COVID had sort of gone, I was in better health and stuff. I thought to myself, okay, let's see what we can do about maybe trying somewhere new, seeing what it's like. I still love the idea of moving to San Diego, and I actually still want to move to San Diego, but I realized I think San Diego should actually be a place that I move to maybe when I'm quite a bit older, maybe when I want to retire, because it's that sort of place. It's a lot quieter, it's a lot calmer. It's the type of place you do go to retire. Another place which I had visited in the past and which I loved was Dubai. I know a lot of people have complaints about Dubai. You know, Dubai is this very interesting place that people have opinions on, and I completely get it. Everyone has different opinions about Dubai. But when I went to Dubai, I absolutely loved it. I feel like I liked a lot more about it than I thought I would, because people had said negative stuff in the past about it. I kind of went there with this sort of thought of not really expecting much, but then once I got there, I was like, this is awesome. This is a great place. But the idea of actually moving to Dubai was not something I'd really considered until early last year. Once I had started seeing so many other people that I knew moving to Dubai, so many friends had moved to Dubai, so many other sort of creators had moved to Dubai, business people had moved to Dubai, and it kind of got me thinking that Dubai actually makes a lot of sense on what I want in my life in the next sort of 5 to 10 years, and where I am sort of business-wise, where I am sort of family-wise and things like that. It just made a lot of sense. And seeing my friends and seeing other people that I knew had moved to Dubai, it just made it even more appealing. So I looked into the idea of moving there, see how easy it would be, speak to a few people, speak to some agencies trying to sort out company, visa, stuff like that. Lo and behold, in 3 months, I am now technically basically a resident of Dubai. I've got a company set up, I've got a visa there, and it was all done in 3 months, which is wild. I sort of started the process in November, beginning of November, and then I had basically become a Dubai resident by the middle of January, by the end of January. So 3-month process. I was blown away by how quick and easy it was. So yes, I am moving to Dubai. So it's going to be a big change. It's going to be a huge thing in my life that I just didn't think I would ever do, because I know a lot of my friends and family, they never thought that I would do this. They never thought that I would be the type of person to move country, because I'm very much like a homebody. I like stable, secure, stay in my own house, have my own place. I'm not really a person that changes too much in my life. I like slow and steady. So moving to Dubai is a big change for me, and I think it's a big change for a lot of my friends and family as well. Now, of course, why Dubai? Like, there are a few reasons that I've written here for moving to Dubai. Tax. Like, this is the biggest one, and definitely one of the biggest reasons why I'm moving to Dubai. And I'm not ashamed of it. I feel like I don't understand why people are ashamed of it. Dubai is 0% tax, which just blows my mind. Like, it's 0% income tax, 0% capital gains, and even 0% corporation tax, depending on the corporation setup that you have. So the corporation I have set up is 0%. I've never shied away from the fact that I want to make money. I'm completely transparent on the fact that I want to make money. I want to make as much money as possible. And one of the best ways to make more money is to go to a place which is more tax efficient. Now, of course, they could change the rules at any time in Dubai. They could implement income tax, corporation tax, capital gains tax, whatever it might be. But for now, it's 0%. And that's a pretty big incentive for lots of people who have good jobs, who make good money, who have companies to move to Dubai. To put it into perspective, in the UK, if you earn over £125,000 a year, you fall into the 45% tax band. So what that means is that any money you earn beyond £125,000 a year, any money beyond that, you will pay 45% tax on that amount. So, for example, if I were to pay myself £200,000 in the UK, my take-home money would be £117,000. So that's nearly £83,000 going to tax and national insurance. That's a lot of money. It's creeping up to nearly 50% of my income going to tax. And technically, it does end up being more than 50%. It can be sometimes 60 to 70%, because in the UK, we have VAT. So whenever you buy anything, you pay VAT. So when I buy a laptop, when I buy clothes, I think food is not VAT applicable, but yeah, most things that you buy, there is 20% VAT. You also have to pay sort of council tax, which I guess is property tax in the US. So depending on the size of your house, where you live and stuff, you pay a varied amount of council tax. I also have to pay corporation tax on any profits that I make. And then I also have to pay business rates. So this studio that I'm in, the warehouse that I'm in, I have to pay business rates for things like that. So yeah, there is lots of ways that we're taxed in the UK. So, you know, going to somewhere like Dubai, paying 0% tax, it's pretty wild and just a massive incentive, and it just makes a lot of sense for someone who earns good money to move to Dubai. Another thing is, I expect my income to continue rising over the next few years. So if I'm paying myself 200, 300, $500,000, $1 million a year, You know, I want to bag as much of that as I possibly can and plow it into my investments. I want to plow it into my stocks and shares portfolio. I want to plow it into property, whatever it might be. Plow it into more startups, or invest in more startups, invest in more businesses. So that's another big reason why I want to do it. There are a few other reasons why I'm moving to Dubai. Healthcare in Dubai is amazing. It's one of the best in the world. Of course, you do have to pay for it, but considering the amount you would pay compared to how much tax you'd pay, it makes a lot of sense. Like, I could easily pay for the highest grade of healthcare in Dubai, and it just won't be an issue. And I will, because obviously with my cancer treatment and stuff, I want to make sure I get the best healthcare. And as I've gotten older, I've sort of appreciated healthcare more. Being in good health just makes a big difference to your life. And with the NHS in the UK, unfortunately, it has been on like a steady decline, the sort of quality and the service that you get from the NHS. I don't really know the ins and outs, obviously. I am not educated in that area. I don't have any expertise in that area. But yeah, healthcare for me, very, very important. I'm happy to pay for private healthcare if I know I'm going to get a good level, a good standard of healthcare. Dubai is, of course, very safe. It's one of the safest places in the world. I don't have to worry about anything in Dubai. It's just wild. I don't have to worry about getting mugged, robbed, hurt, or anything like that. And unfortunately, it happens a lot in the UK. Nearly every single one of my friends who lives in London has either been mugged or robbed. Some of them have been hurt. You know, it's just crazy. It's unfortunate that it's like that. It's also insane that in Dubai, you can leave valuables in the car. So you can leave your wallet, you can leave your phone, your laptop, your camera, anything like that. You can have it on display in your car and no one will touch it. Like, it's so foreign to me. That is so foreign to me and just blows my mind, because in the UK, I'm so used to hiding things, putting things away, making sure my valuables are on me, not leaving them in the car, because I've had friends who've had their cars robbed. So it's just such a foreign concept to me that in Dubai, you can just leave your stuff in the car and no one will touch it. And you can leave your stuff out in public. You can leave it on a table or something. You can come back hours later. It will still be there, or someone will have sort of kept it safe for you. Just amazing to me. When it comes to traveling, I can also use Dubai as a base. So I really want to travel to sort of the more eastern part of the world. I've not really done Asia. I've not done Australia. I've not done those sorts of places, and Africa as well. So being in a place like that, it makes it so much easier to go to Asian countries, to go to Australia, to go to Japan. These places that I really, really want to go to, I just haven't gone to because the trip from the UK is so long and the tickets are quite expensive and stuff. I want to visit more of the world. I want to see more of the world, and using Dubai as a base, as a place that I can do that from, just makes a lot of sense. Japan and Australia have been at the top of my list as well when it comes to places I want to go to. I think I'm actually going to do both of those places in the next 12 to 24 months. So being able to do that from Dubai, yeah, it will just make it a lot easier. So this isn't really a benefit of Dubai, but a benefit of my life, is that I have very little responsibilities. I have no children. I have no one that's dependent on me. I'm fortunate enough where I can do pretty much whatever I want and it doesn't really affect anyone. So why not try living in another country, seeing what it's like, sort of experience a different way of life and just experience a different part of the world. I also doubt that I'll be able to do this in any other part of my life, because I'm not sort of like a young adult anymore where I have no money. I'm in this perfect situation, perfect point in my life where I'm young and healthy. I have a good income. I have no responsibilities. I can basically just do whatever I want and experience whatever I want without it really affecting anyone else, and still not obviously worry about bills, not worry about sort of, can I afford this or anything like that. Yeah, I'm in a very, very fortunate position in my life, and I know how fortunate I am, and that's why I want to take advantage of it as much as I can. There are, of course, downsides, like Dubai is not a perfect place. There is no such thing as a perfect country. I did actually do a lot of research, and I feel like every country has its own compromises, because I tried to see where is a place that I can move to where everyone relatively speaks English or knows how to speak English, low sort of income tax. I don't mind paying income tax. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't a crazy amount. Good quality of life, standard of living, good healthcare, things like that. There are actually very, very few places on earth that are like that. Dubai is really only one of those places. I think there is one big downside that applies to me, and something that I think is going to affect me the most, and it's the heat. Obviously, Dubai is a very, very hot place, especially in the summer months. When I went in January, it was very nice, very comfortable. But in the summer months, it is ludicrously hot. And I actually plan to travel during the summer months. Heat to me, I don't know what it is. Heat gets to me. Like, I just don't like heat. I also don't like too cold. I'm so picky. I just realized, aren't I? I'm so picky. I don't like too hot. I don't like too cold. I am such a little wuss. But it's just one of the things that, yeah, bothers me. It does get very, very hot. That's really the biggest downside for me personally. The other downside for a lot of people is high cost of living. Dubai definitely has a higher cost of living compared to most of the world. But because I've grown up in the UK and I've grown up around London, it's actually pretty much the same for me. Like it doesn't actually make too much of a difference at all. If anything, it's cheaper because I'm not paying tax. So the cost of living is the same, like the rent, food, all that sort of stuff is the same. But because I have more money because of no tax, I'm actually better off. So technically, Dubai is lower cost of living for me. But of course, that doesn't apply to everyone else. It is a higher cost of living compared to other people who are moving from other countries. The only thing that seems to be more expensive in Dubai is alcohol. It's like double the price, but that doesn't even affect me whatsoever because I don't drink. I've never had a sip of alcohol in my life. So yeah, that doesn't bother me whatsoever. I actually prefer that it's not like that. I have a thing where I kind of think to myself, like, I don't think alcohol is really a great thing. People can do what they like, they can drink, they can do whatever, but for me personally, I just think alcohol is basically just a legalized drug. But yeah, that's just a very strong opinion that I have. Anyone is welcome to do whatever they like, whatever drugs, alcohol, whatever works for you, you do you. For me personally, I just don't think alcohol is that great. If you're watching this video and are also considering moving to Dubai, I'll leave a link to the agency that I use. They have a form that you have to go through where basically you input your information, they ask for like company and stuff like that. It's just to make sure that people are serious about moving to Dubai. It cost me around $17,000 to get my company set up and to get the visas done. And it was a breeze, like it was so easy. I didn't really have to do much other than turn up in Dubai and do the sort of medical test, do the sort of biometrics and stuff. That's it. Like it was just super easy. This agency that handled everything for me, they were fantastic. And yeah, they're quite popular as well. So yeah, I'll leave a link to them for anyone interested. What's my plan going forward? So I don't plan to live in Dubai forever because technically you can't live in Dubai forever unless you're an Emirati person, and you can't be an Emirati person unless you marry someone who's Emirati. So yeah, that's a whole nother thing. I do plan to come back to the UK or even just move to another country, but I do plan to come back to the UK at some point in the future. The content on both of my channels, this finance channel and my tech channel, will not change. Nothing will change whatsoever. If anything, I might be able to make more content because I'll be able to have my studio in the sort of house slash villa. They call houses villas over there just to make it more fancy, but yeah, I'll have my studio sort of in where I live, so that'll make things easier. I'll be able to make more videos. I'll be able to spend more time on things like that. But yeah, I will just have a different setup. So this setup that you see right now, it will be gone. I will have a different setup. Everything else will definitely stay the same. I also plan to start another business or two in Dubai. So we'll see how that goes, because YouTube and stuff is great, but obviously I don't want to be doing YouTube forever, right? I do YouTube because right now it's a fun thing. Like I really enjoy doing it, but I know what I'm like. I know that these sorts of things, I do fall out of love with them, and I end up feeling like I'm not being creative anymore. I end up wanting to start a business or wanting to do something new. So we'll see what happens. But for now, nothing is changing. And yeah, that's a quick update on what's going on with me and my channel and why there are going to be some changes around here. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to follow me on Instagram or Twitter, where I'll be sharing a lot more updates and things about my moving to Dubai. I might also make some more videos on my tech channel, especially setting up a new setup in Dubai, living room tour, villa tour, all these different things. Yeah, I'll be milking it as much as possible. Don't you worry about that. I will be milking it a lot. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and subscribe for more.